Hello, I'm Johnny and welcome to the Ginger Geek Show. So a very special video today. I want to talk about my experience of going to the Avengers Campus in Disneyland Paris. Now, I won't lie, originally this was meant to be more of a vlog, but I've never really done that before. I kind of was trying to do it and I realised it isn't for me. I massive respect to people that can do it. It's just something I just can't. I just don't have the kind of confidence to kind of do it. I just feel like I'm in someone's way, and I'm very quite self-conscious of I don't want to disturb anyone. And so the way I'm going to do this is I'm kind of going to talk about my experience. I've got plenty of footage, so I'm going to showcase off that. It is going to be obviously more of the camera kind of style, but God, cameras and phones nowadays are kind of insane how great the quality is now. So yes, I'm gonna go through it all, just my overall experience and frankly love for this land. I'm gonna say right now I had a fantastic time going, and I've got a couple of little fun facts of how to kind of maybe do certain things to get a better experience out of it all. So let's begin on my experience at Avengers Campus Paris. So obviously, first of all to talk about is the entrance. Now it's really nicely done. You kind of walk through, and obviously on the left side you have got the Avengers kind of logo. It says Avengers Campus, which is really nice. I took obviously a nice wee photo of myself there. It's really good there. You kind of walk through and you've got the kind of Spider-Man ride you kind of have on the right, and the kind of you've got a nice little kind of Ant-Man bit in the kind of left with the kind of Pym kitchen at the left, which we'll talk about more later on. I did go into, and on the right you do have the Spider-Man ride. And as you kind of walk down, which gets to the kind of the main area of the Avengers Campus, at the left, which to me, I don't know if anyone else felt like this, felt very kind of Epcot kind of feeling. Now this area, if you remember rightly, if you've been before, this bit specifically was obviously the Aerosmith ride, which is now the Flight Force ride. So you've got that there, so that's where Flight Force is, and then to the right you've got the Quinjet, so it's really quite nice, and then you've got the shop that's also just to the right, and also a training section also. When that kind of training section is where you get kind of professional photos taken with your favourite Marvel characters. Speaking of characters, and this is probably my favourite thing about this land, is it's anywhere you walk there is something kind of going on. It's rumoured to be, it's not really scheduled, and it's meant to be very on the moment it happens, and there's some really nice moments. I've got some clips here I'm going to quickly show here of we've got Star-Lord.
Maintenant c'est mon moment préféré, il y en aura avec moi, guys, avec moi. Ok, ouais.
And a nice wee clip here of Loki. And a nice little clip here of Mighty Thor. There was also a nice little bit with Mighty Thor, Loki and Thor I also got. Now I was really lucky, and I'm saying it right now, there is where you're going to see this next clip here, there is a giant kind of door slash gate, it kind of feels like. A lot of the time the characters come through this door, so here's a little bit of kind of a titbit, as they kind of say, where if you want to try and catch a good close-up of these characters, they're not really going to stop. I'm going to say right now it is a bit where they have to kind of walk and get to a certain spot, but just leave them be and you can have a nice little shot. And I got that from a really good close-up of Spider-Man, and I'm going to say right now there's a wee section at Avengers Campus at the kind of corner bit here where two different characters have a kind of swinging section here. There is two versions, as I said, of this. There is one of Spider-Man and there is one of Black Widow, and I will show both right now. I also, once again, this is pure by chance, I got a pretty good shot of Gamora and Star-Lord just walking past me, which also show a little bit of the kind of, they do like a little dance, kind of dance-off kind of thing as well, show that also happens kind of a little bit up from that kind of main bit that I kind of showed there, kind of more next to the back of Flight Force.
I can hear you. Is this the place? I don't see anyone who could go face to face with Ronan. Or even Mantis.
I also got a good bit of Doctor Strange, which was really good because this is what is quite great about this campus, is that if a character's somewhere else, and how it kind of worked out, Loki was at the kind of top section of the campus, and Doctor Strange was coming out within a car, and there's kind of a nice little interaction, and the rest of us is kind of Doctor Strange, and it was quite nice to see. Now, possibly my kind of favourite bit here, if you're a regular to this channel, or if you're new, I am quite a big Captain Marvel fan, and I did manage to get this moment.
She waved at me, she waved at me.
What was also really good was you don't actually, and I didn't realise this until actually on the day, I thought the only way you could take photos with characters was through the professional photos, and you had to obviously pay for them, which I was thinking about doing, but the queue it goes like that, and you have to book it quite quickly to get into the queue, so it's a bit kind of hard, that kind of sort of stuff. But sometimes they just kind of like appear out on the actual campus, and I managed to get quite a good shot with me and Captain Marvel. I also managed to get quite a good wee section chunk of the Dora Milaje. They do like a nice little kind of dash slash kind of showcasing off their fighting skills, and I also got a good bit of them kind of walking away and back into that door, that kind of gate that I was telling you about, where they kind of come in and out of.
They look nervous, so we're gonna make it easier. Quant à vous, chers alliés, est-ce que vous vous êtes bien étirés ce matin? Did you stretch well this morning?
Now, I've talked about the kind of what you see with the Quinjet and the kind of building of Flight Force, but actually to the right there's some nice little Easter eggs that you will see there. But it also has this kind of whole rooftop section. Now, I've kind of showed a little bit of the left side where obviously Spider-Man and Black Widow do swing up there, but this whole section actually also showcases off a fight scene, and it's pretty good, to be honest. It's not the greatest thing in the world, I won't lie, but it's pretty fun. Black Widow's in it, Black Panther, and Spider-Man is also in it, and here's some footage of that. And lastly, I was quite thankful I managed to capture is at a certain point of the day, we found it was about, I think between 5 and 6, they kind of do a final show where, you know, they blast the Avengers theme, they all come out, and there's a little bit of pyrotechnics, nothing too kind of crazy, but it was a nice kind of, you know, that was the kind of final farewell of the characters kind of just walking about. on to the raids I want to kind of talk about here. There are two raids. There are the web raid, which I've now forgot, there's more than that, it's not just the web raid, but basically the Spider-Man raid and the Flight Force raid. Now obviously the Spider-Man raid is new, we have seen it before in the California land, I've never been there but I knew of it, and Flight Force, as many of you know, it is a re-theme of the Aerosmith, but we'll talk about Flight Force first. I really quite liked it. I actually really much prefer the overall theme. I thought Aerosmith was quite dated at this kind of point. It just felt a bit, it needed something, it felt very kind of old and it was needing a good like jump. So I didn't really get any footage of the actual raid because I think that's something you should experience, but I did have a little bit, a good wee chunk of the Q system. There's a great Iron Man animatronic, I loved seeing Brie Larson, so here's a wee section of that.
Repulsors augmented. Consider your hands juiced.
Ça m'a l'air parfait, Friday.
Thank you. So glad you approve.
You'll be joining us on the mission. Tony's built a transponder that the missile's targeting system will lock onto. He's loaded the transponders into his hypersonic vehicles.
And the other raid, as I says, the Spider-Man raid, I really quite enjoyed actually, to be honest, because I like the idea of you're actually being Spider-Man, and if you don't know, it's basically, it was 4 screens, you're in this big kind of, you know, the big raid, and you have to do the motion of Spider-Man, and I think that's actually really quite good, and the fact that you don't have to put anything on. I mean, you can if you want to pay for it, but I like the idea of, you know, you don't have to put anything on, you can just do literally the Spider-Man movements. I think that's very smartly done, and I really thoroughly enjoyed that raid. And again, here's a couple of wee, I don't have anything of the actual raid, but there's a couple of wee bits here I've got from that.
Lancerai nos propres toiles d'araignée, comme mon pote Spider-Man.
Peter, ta réputation est en train de t'échapper.
Oui, ça m'arrive pas, Jérémy, et je te serais reconnaissant de lancer immédiatement les protocoles. Et je crois que j'ai besoin d'aide.
C'est moi ton pilier.
Chérine, prépare les véhicules slingers.
C'est comme si c'était fait.
Allez tous vers les slingers et on fera équipe pour empêcher les speederboats de détruire le campus. C'est un jeu d'enfant.
Okay, we have a plan.
And another section here I want to talk about is the restaurants. Now, we have 2 restaurants here. We have Pym's Kitchen, which is a buffet, and you have Stark Factory, which is just a kind of a quick meal type one. And I luckily went to both, so I did kind of experience both. Really love Pym Kitchen. I do have an issue with it, was how they did their kind of, it was weird. So we went in, and for some odd reason, you had to wait until you could order a drink and then you could go, but it took so long to wait to order the drink, and I don't really know why, because there was quite a lot of staff there. Now, let's actually talk about a kind of quick difference here, because obviously I went to Disneyland Park as well, and I went to one of my favourite buffets. I really love Plaza Gardens, and they do it so smartly where when you're in the queue, and obviously I had the Magic Pass, so I had the half board plus, so the Plaza Gardens and Pym Kitchen was part of that meal deal, and so when you kind of paid at the bit to get in, and they asked you, it's like, oh, what drink do you want, so we can get that ordered for you before you're even at the table. So literally when you sit down the table, the nice woman said to us, it's like, you just go straight up and get food, and the drink will come to you. And it's like, why can Pym Kitchen not do that? I don't get why there's a disconnect of, you know, I get that Pym Kitchen's a new restaurant, but it's still under the same house, you know, it's not like it's a weird thing, but the mains were good, but the desserts were really good. But you know, that's the French are damn good when it comes to desserts. There's also a nice little thing where they put a giant pretzel and everyone gets that no matter what on the actual table, which was pretty nice. So I thought I did actually really, there's some nice theming in there. I think I showed a wee shot of the actual inside of it. It was really quite nicely done in there. I quite enjoyed that one. And as I said, the other one, Stark Factory, it's just a quick service meal. It's nothing. The pizza, I got the pizza, I got some pasta. That was really nice actually, to be honest, for the price that you're paying for. The main event really for Start Factory is when you see the Hulk Buster, which is fantastic when you see that in real life. It is a really impressively done statue model, I don't know what you want to call it, but it is very nicely done. And lastly, I want to talk about quickly, which is a nice little experience for me, was if you have a chance, be in Avengers Campus at night, because my god, it is beautiful at night. I don't know what it is, but it's just the way the lights kind of pop. I think the Avengers logo looks really nice, and Pym Kitchen kind of glowing, as I says, and certain lights kind of pop. The actual main bit looks great, especially when you really notice the lights even more so with at the Flight Force, because obviously they've got, which I don't think I mentioned, they actually have Friday, and she's like the kind of there's kind of lights around her, and that really kind of pops more at night. The Quinjet looks beautiful. As I says, it's just nice with the music playing. I really just liked walking about in that, and I was lucky that it was at a period where they were still doing the between 9 till 10:30 at night. It was open, so you really could experience that at night. So I thoroughly enjoyed that moment, and that's my experience at Avengers Campus at Paris. So my overall opinion, loved it. I think it is fantastic. It is much better than what used to be there. If anyone went to Disneyland Paris before the campus was there, it was rough. It did not. It was dated. They didn't keep it great. It was a bad bit of the park, and it makes the park feel so much better. And they're still planning on doing another 2 lands. You do see there is construction work where they're doing the man-made lake for the Frozen land that I know they're doing. So they're still doing a lot to that park. But I've got a lot of love for that Studios park, and even more so now with that Avengers Campus. You know, you get to meet some great characters. I do enjoy both rides. I didn't really mention much, but the shop is really good. There's some good stuff in there. There were certain things that I think I've just missed out because I think they've sold out. I know there was meant to be a Funko Pop, and I didn't get that, sadly. But it was a really great, fun experience, and I think all ages will like it. Kids will love it. I think adults will love it as well. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, that was my overall experience at Avengers Campus Paris. Big thumbs up for me. I can't wait to go back again. I'd like to know what you guys think. Comment down below. Have any of you been there? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? I'd like to know. Because sadly, you know, it could just how it works out. We've all had maybe a bad experience or a good experience. It can very much differ. So I'd like to know what you guys think. Please comment down below. You can like, share, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter on thegingergeek92. That'd be very kind. Please subscribe as well. That'd be most welcome. That'd be very kind indeed. So yes, as always, more videos in the future. So until then, see you later.